You said earlier this week that this was a break that you're probably only going to get once this year. Do you feel like you've taken full advantage of almost a bye week?
Yeah, I think it's tough because there were so many things from the weekend that we wanted to work on, but you've got to try and match that with giving the guys a bit of a break. So I think we've managed to do that. Had a great session today. Probably back to full momentum today, which has been nice. Kicking in throughout the weekend, and then obviously we'll watch the games over the weekend in the league, and then prepare for our game on Wednesday.
How do you, as a coach, what's your strategy in terms of the ebbs and flows of high-intensity training, and then also, like you said, your days off, your walkthroughs, your regen sessions?
We planned them quite methodically pre-season. I'm a true believer in the sports science side of the game, so we try and manage the players utilising that as much as we can. And then, there's also the human side of it where, you speak to them and see how they're feeling, and then you can sort of map out what you think you need to do in preparation for the game. And I think, this is probably the longest period of training that we'll have between a game. And I think we've maximised it as the best we can. And, we're always trying to better ourselves. But I think the preparations have been pretty good. And I think throughout the season, we've pretty much got every session mapped out throughout the year. And we'll try and stick to that as much as we can.
How much will you stick, like you said, what would you say is the percentages that you stick to that plan? And how much do you adjust on the fly based on the condition of the team and how everyone's feeling?
It probably kicks in a little bit more towards the back end of the season, just with amount of times we play on turf and the amount of times that we train on turf, and that takes a huge demand on your body. So it'll probably kick in a little bit more where we'll manage the time a little bit more throughout the back end of the season. But at the minute we're still trying to peak. I don't think we've peaked yet, so we need to keep working to make sure that we peak at the right times.
I imagine once the season really gets going, in terms of less trainings in between games, it's all team focused. How do we prepare for the next game? What do we do to fix things from last game? Was it nice this week to get to mix in a little bit of individual work as well?
Yeah, I'm a true believer of that. I think the technical side of the game is something that as coaches we can help the players facilitate, but I think they've got to take ownership of that themselves. And we're here to help them with the tactical and the physical side of the game. So we've sort of put into practice a technical element for the players to do post sessions and pre-sessions that they can manage themselves, and they can get out of it whatever they want. And we've got a vastly different group of people on how they try and train and want to train, so we're trying to match that with then putting the team stuff all together.
All week everyone has been really excited about the clean sheet, including Hope yesterday, and I know you are as well. It's what you preach, being difficult to beat. A big part of that was Kendall Fletcher making her first start with this club. What did you see from her in terms of how impressive she was?
I thought she did well. I thought she looked like a person that had played the game for a long time, which she has, and she's got a lot of experience. And I think, the last time she played in the States, back in the WPS to now, I think she's developed a lot. I think her stint out in Australia and out in Europe has really helped her develop, and having conversations with her, I think she believes that too. And I think that we saw some of that at the weekend. I still think that it's a huge part of the game for me that we can get individuals in the right positions at the right time, and I thought Kendall did well at that, as well as as a lot of the other players did in the game on Sunday. And I think that was a big thing that we've reflected on from the weekend, is that we won that game and we got the clean sheet from a team defending, rather than relying on individuals and relying on our back four and our goalkeeper to pull out miracles. We made it that we reduced the opportunities that the opposition had, and we were lucky on one, and I think then it was down to good defending after that.
You have training tomorrow, day off Sunday, back at it Monday. Do you start to talk Washington Spirit tomorrow, or do you wait till Monday to get that going?
We've started it already. We'll drip feed it. They've got another game, so things may change from what we've said already. But I think the traits are similar. Mark's created a roster that of players who want to play. It's funny, someone else coming over from the big pond who I think got a lot of respect for Mark, and he wants to play the game the way that I believe it should be played. And I think you saw that in the Western New York game, and I think weather was a factor in that game. So it'll be interesting how that they go up against Kansas, and obviously we'll be watching, and then we can take bits out of the two games in preparation for our game.